Harry's wife. Will her daughter be seen as competition? Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Now, I know some of you dispute whether the children exist. Some believe that they're surrogate children. Some believe there are no children. Some believe that they are children belonging to other people that have been hired in. You're entitled to form your views, and I've explained elsewhere, would a narcissist behave in such a way with regard to children in this manner? But for the sake of this video, let us assume the children are those of Harry and Harry's wife, Archie and Lilibet. And let's focus specifically on Lilibet. Is it the case that Harry's wife would view her own daughter as competition? Well, in considering this key question, one has to bear in mind what is the attitude of a narcissist towards their children. I'd encourage you to watch my detailed analysis, The Narcissist and Children. Do narcissists love their children? The fact is that a narcissist sees a child as an object, like everybody else is. But where an unaware narcissist, this is done in the subconscious. The child is a little mirror. The child is there to be controlled, and invariably is very easy to control. So that's one of the prime aims dealt with nice and neatly. The child will provide fuel, but as a non-intimate secondary source, the fuel is moderate in potency. Of course, in some instances of sexual abuse, there's an intimate relationship with the child, which increases the potency of the fuel, notwithstanding such an illegal act. The child can provide character traits, particularly as the child progresses with regard to achievements in academia, sport, extracurricular activities. And this is where you will find the narcissist lays claim to those achievements, trophies, successes, certificates, whatever it might be of the child, and say, oh, he gets his brains from me. Oh, she's good at basketball because of me. I've trained her. She gets all of that artistic ability from me, etc. And then there are residual benefits. It allows the narcissist of certain types to present a facade of being a family person, of being kind and decent and bringing up the children well. Of course, there's always some kind of delinquency that is involving a narcissist and their children, whether it's from out-and-out physical and sexual abuse, neglect, emotional torture, leading through to abusing the child's other parent, which of course is a form of abuse to that child itself. It might be being emotionally distant. It might be pushing the child too hard. There's lots of different varied ways that the abuse can take place, some more obvious than others. Often with mid-range narcissists, the child lives in a comfortable home, eats well, is clothed, has lots of friends, is given lots of opportunities in life. But they have to endure that awful treading on eggshells environment where mother or father might erupt at a moment's notice behind closed doors. They might find themselves being shuttled between either parent or pawn in the machinations between the two, particularly if it's some narc-on-narc action. But what about where that child is seen not as something that's of use to the narcissist, but actually competition? Well, it often happens. It happens because where a child starts to become successful of their own right, and their own successes supersede that of the parent. Remember, the universe must revolve around the narcissist. It must revolve around Harry's wife. She is the sun about which all the planets revolve. She is the brightest star in her universe. But should it be that her daughter, for instance, starts to achieve things at an earlier stage than Harry's wife did, she will, of course, look to commandeer that. Let's say, for instance, she was an early reader or early talker. She will put it down to her good offices, even though, of course, the child's likely to spend more time with a nanny. Harry's wife will claim that success as her own, but perversely, at the same time, will be envious of that success. Therefore, to the external world, Harry's wife will say, oh, Lilibet started learning Spanish or such like. She's such a good linguist. And she, of course, utilizes that by triangulating her child with other people for the purposes of asserting control over those other people and indirectly over Lilibet. However, behind closed doors, the fact that her daughter is outgunning her by learning Spanish at a younger age, or perhaps it started to read at an earlier age, or then starts to do very well at sport, surpassing Harry's wife's own achievements at sport, that she can run further, faster, jump higher, etc. Again, all of these achievements are commandeered by Harry's wife and portrayed to the outside world as to say, look how good my daughter is, and it's all because of me. But behind closed doors, the narcissist is envious of their own child. Remember, the narcissist has no emotional empathy for that child. There may be fake cognitive empathy, but there is no emotional empathy. And therefore, when that child starts to be a reminder of the narcissist's own shortcomings, they will be devalued. Their achievements will be denigrated. They will say that they only got there because they cheated. They said they only got there because it was a fluke. It was a wind-assisted race. I would have done better. In fact, I would have gone on and got such a career if I hadn't had to stop and have you. The ultimate belittlement of the child, to blame that child's existence on the shortcomings of the narcissist. Should Lilibet turn into a beautiful young lady, her looks will also cause a problem for the aging Harry's wife, already suspected to be older than she claims that she is, and engaging in the application of Botox, nose jobs, fillers, and other plastic surgery magics. The fact that she looks on her own daughter, she will do so with pride, again, for the external world, triangulating her, my beautiful daughter who takes after me. But internally, she will be envious of those young, fresh looks, and her daughter will prove to be competition. Rather than see her as somebody that she needs to guide and nourish and advance in a pastoral way, Harry's wife, within the closed-door environment, will see her own daughter as a competitor. They're stealing her looks, perhaps damaging her body if it's correct that she did give birth to her. Taking her time, taking her money. The resentment from the narcissist is immense, because whilst that child is there to be utilized at the same time, it is a drain upon the narcissist, and particularly so where that child starts to outshine the parent. Remember, the narcissist isn't governed by emotional empathy. So even somebody who is not a narcissist might actually feel envious of their child, thinking, goodness me, everybody talks about their achievements, I feel a bit inadequate. But even if they were to think that, they don't say it because they recognize, well, it's good for my child and I shouldn't really be envious even if I can't help it. But I'm not going to mention that to people. I'm going to keep that under wraps, but not a narcissist. The presence of that child, their beauty, their intelligence, their linguistic ability, their sporting achievements, whatever it might be, represents a threat to the narcissist's sense of control over them. In effect, the little mirror is outgrowing its host, and the narcissist hates this. And whilst that child will be utilized in a triangulated way for the external world, within the world of the closed doors in the family environment, that child is despised, is hated, will be belittled, will be put down, will be denigrated, because that's the only way that the narcissist knows that they can keep control of this usurper. Harry's wife is no different. As an anodyne middle mid-ranger with no talent, no ability, fading looks, the advancement of time reminding her that she is not what she thinks she is. Looking then at her daughter and her achievements, being much younger, is going to be a threat to her control, is going to be competition, and will result in certain behaviours towards her to keep her in check. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.